Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Valpo Basketball Preview, along with head coach Matt Loddick. I'm Todd Eichow, and today we start, Matt, with talking about another victory, and what was a really special day on Sunday at the Arc. Obviously, Alec Peters stole the headlines, and maybe bigger picture of everything was another win against a hot team that had been playing well, that you guys made it look easy. Let's start by talking about the team, and then we'll get into Alec. And things seem to be coming together. Obviously, not only 5 straight wins, but the fact that each game almost looks easier and easier. Can you give us some idea of what's happening?
You know, we talked about it earlier, but we've just gotten really back to basics. You know, how do we want to defend? How do we want to play offense? And really just trying to simplify things, making the easy play, easy pass, hitting the open guy, and then, you know, really communicating and getting back to our basics on defensively. And when we do that and we rebound at a high clip, you know, we're a tough team to beat. So just been playing simple basketball and competitive basketball, and as a result, we've been playing a lot better.
You know, when you look back at the beginning of the season, those struggles at home against teams that, quite frankly, not as good as Green Bay, not as good as UIC, and it was a struggle and a struggle. And now all of a sudden, we see a 20, 25, 30-point lead, back-to-back games against good teams. You've got to feel good about the way the team has grown as well.
Yeah, and you know, early on we're trying to find our identity a little bit, and you know, we've had some key pieces back from, you know, the previous years, but we also had a lot of new pieces that we had to add in and get into the flow. And you know, I had to find my rhythm as a coach, and our staff had to find their rhythm. And so, you know, you want to continue to get better throughout the year, and I think we've done that. You know, and I keep saying, you know, we want to keep pushing forward. We want to be playing our best basketball in March, and as long as we take positive steps every day in practice and in the film room and in the weight room, I like our chances.
I want you to go back maybe to an hour or two before the game on Sunday, and maybe some of the last talks you had with the team. Because Alec, early on in the game, it was clear he wanted to get the record out of the way. I mean, I wouldn't say he was being selfish, but he just was like, let's get it out of the way. I think he was looking to score every time. And it wasn't like he took bad shots, but I think he took shots on 6 of the first 7 possessions. Was there talk about the record? Was there talk about anything at all with the team? Did you hear the players talking about it? And then, obviously, you're trying to keep track of the points as well, which is something which a coach normally does not do. Maybe give us an idea of what happened an hour before the game or so.
You know, honestly, all our prep was, we knew Alec was going to break the record. I mean, he was going to get 7 points, and you know, ideally it was going to happen earlier in the game. It was not something that we mentioned, you know, in the you know, the team meetings or anything, but it was impossible not to know what was going on. Just the media attention that it was garnering, and so, you know, very happy that he got it before the first media, and then we could focus, you know, solely on winning the game. And you know, our guys we're an unselfish bunch, and so it's important to pause and kind of recognize a moment like that. And you know, it was a big moment, and so it was fun. It was a fun media timeout to congratulate Alec, and then it was back to business.
You know, and if you don't know Alec, and maybe you don't understand what was going on, but I know Alec well enough to know that his thought process was, I want this just to be a normal basketball game. And it's not going to be a normal basketball game until I get the 7 points out of the way.
Yeah.
And he said, some kids don't think that way. But I think his thought process was, hey, for us to play our best, for everything this is the best way to do it. Yeah. And he's really an intelligent kid for many reasons, but from that standpoint, it's interesting the way he looked at it.
Yeah, maybe, and you know, you'd have to ask him if that was his mentality. I'm not positive, but you know, I do know that you know, Alec is very proud of the record, but he's very proud of the victory. And you know, the more we win, the better for him, the better for everyone. And that's been his focus since the day he got here. It's going to be his focus till as long as he's here.
You know, one of the big differences, and we talked, I think, after the Oakland game, was you got to find a way to get more from the bench. You got to find a way to get more from the bench. And over the last 2 weeks, in which you guys have played the best basketball of the season, Jay Soroya and Max Joseph, humongous lifts off the bench, playing tremendously well for your team.
No doubt. Lexus, too. And you know, we've gotten a lot of contribution. John Kaiser's coming along. Nick Davidson gave us some good minutes. And so it's just an everyday process, you know, getting guys confident, trying to put them as coaching staff in position to be successful, and you know, really just starting to understand roles. And you know, Max Joseph, I had a double take at the stats in conference. I think he has 18 assists and 4 turnovers.
Yeah.
I mean, he has really simplifies his game, and his ability just to get to spots and being strong with the basketball and deliver to guys in good spots. I mean, it's helped us tremendously.
And he's made 6 of 11 threes. I talked to Luke Gore about that, and Luke said, well, it's, believe it or not, like one thing goes with the other. Because he's been able to attack and create and do things off the dribble, he's getting better looks in the perimeter.
Yeah, and anytime you're feeling good about yourself and confident, and I think that starts with making a good defensive stop or getting a rebound or delivering a key play, and then all of a sudden it just seems like for whatever reason the basket's bigger. And I guess I didn't know Max was shooting that well from 3, but we'll take it.
All right, let's look ahead now. 2 teams that are certainly capable to come in here and give you ball games, starting with Wright State. On Friday, they have one of the top scorers in the league, a guy who's actually been in the top 20 in scoring in the country throughout the course of this year, and Mark Allstark.
Yeah, no, they're very talented, and they pose a lot of problems. They go small a lot, where they almost have 5 perimeter guys. And so, we've got a work cut out for us, and we understand what's going to take. Actually, today in practice, we're going to work on our bigs, maybe trying to contain a guard a little bit in penetration. So they present problems, and obviously they beat us twice last year, and we remember that. I know it's a new staff and everything, but we remember it. And so
players remember it for sure.
For sure, and we're looking forward to it. We don't take any game for granted, and we enjoy every moment we step on the court.
And by the way, Northern Kentucky, it's only their 2nd year in the league. They look like, you look at their team, they've got size, they've got guards who can attack, they certainly have shooters. Their program's really headed in the right direction. We'll see them for the first time this year on Sunday.
They got some good players, and they're very well coached. And it really is quite a jump from one year to the next. And so looking forward to that challenge. We've got Coach Ragland on staff, who was on their staff last year. So, he helped bring in a lot of those players. And so I'm glad he's on our side now. But they run a lot of good action. They have good players. So it's going to be a good game.
Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Todd.
For head coach Matt Loddick, I'm Todd Eichow. Thanks for joining us this week on Valpo Basketball Preview.